Enterprise Stories is the weekly radio program that shares the experiences of successful Nigerian entrepreneurs and provides expert analysis of their success factors. Enterprise Stories, business stories of success.
Welcome, listeners, to this week's episode of Enterprise Stories.
My name is Olawale Adifowose, your host for the program.
In this episode, we will share a story of a young man that fired his bosses to follow his passion of making things work well. This will be followed by our expert analysis segment. But before we start, let's take a quick message from our sponsors.
When you are successful in your small business, as I am, people will always come to you. They want to know what you're doing differently, who your bankers are, and what kind of deals you are getting from them. Well, I'm happy to enjoy all the benefits of the SME Zero COT account from Stanbic IBTC Bank. My profit is up. But why? Because I get zero COT, unlimited turnover, no limit on check lodgement or withdrawals, free internet and telephone banking, as well as discount on training courses for small business owners. With special benefits like that on the SME Zero COT account from Stanbic IBTC Bank. Now, there is no reason why your business won't boom just like mine.
Stanbic IBTC Bank, moving forward.
The teaching topic today is building business capacities. Businesses, no matter the size, from day one to those who have lasted centuries, survive on the capacities of the business. When business is formed from day one, to go beyond the individual incorporator to multiple staff and multiple locations and intercontinental is entirely based on the capacities of the promoters. And business capacities are various. The first is ability to see where you are going from where you are. The next is ability to know that to some extent services will come from other persons and businesses. The third is when these services and persons or skills come from other sources, you have to be able to have the capacity to manage the integrated system. These are the challenges of businesses every day. The fact that you can't manage all your activities alone puts a major challenge on you to have the capacity to know that other services coming from somewhere must be managed in an integrated form, all put together towards achieving your own business growth and the targets that you want to achieve. Now, it comes this way. Let's take a situation where, for instance, you will need, let's say, additional funds. Your ability to seek the fund depends on your capacity to decide what funds and what amount and from what source. Even when the fund is available, ability to manage it by way of disbursing it, controlling the disbursement, and knowing when not to be wasteful is a requirement for growth on the basis of capacity. When you now engage a staff, your ability to have the skill to manage the staff capacity, not just yours now, is very important. There is no way you are going to go forward thinking that because you are the business owner, that you know how to cope with all persons, particularly the various capacities. This is where the challenge is. I'll give one simple example to buttress the point I'm making. You will notice that when certain organizations are giving job to certain companies, what they are looking for is the capacity of the company. Because in operations, that's what we call patronage shock. If you are giving a patronage, or if a patronage comes from your customers to the extent that is beyond your ability to manage, you can even collapse. The organization can in fact die. In other words, in the process of being excited for the job, you are dead. You will never be able to move away from there. And that is because the capacity to continue after that patronage will not be there. And this can be seen across our environment here in Nigeria. There are so many contractors that get billions of businesses. It is not because the business, it is not because the amount of money is what killed them. It's the ability to manage the business size. It's too much for them to manage financially. in terms of skill and knowledge, and then even in terms of managing outsourced services. This is where capacity is very, very important, no matter whatever business you are. So the first thing you must understand that if your business must grow beyond your conception, you must continually improve on your capacity to cope with the challenges of growth. Thank you very much.
When you are successful in your small business, as I am, people will always come to you. They want to know what you're doing differently, who your bankers are, and what kind of deals you are getting from them. Well, I'm happy to enjoy all the benefits of the SME Zero COT account from Stanbic IBTC Bank. My profit is up. But why? Because I get zero COT, unlimited turnover, no limit on check lodgement or withdrawals, free internet and telephone banking, as well as discount on training courses for small business owners. With special benefits like that on the SME Zero COT account from Stanbic IBTC Bank. Now, there is no reason why your business won't boom just like mine.
Stanbic IBTC Bank, moving forward.
We are now in the Story of the Day segment, and in the studio with us today is Jeffery Echiemunor, the CEO of Jeffcom Integrated Systems Limited. You're welcome, Jeffery. Okay, so tell us, how did you come about Jeffcom Integrated Systems? How did you start that business?
Yeah, it all started in the year 2000 when I was working in a firm. It's a production firm actually, and I happened to be in the electrical electronics department. When I came back from my youth service, I was posted to a section where electronics is actually the thing of the day. Most of the gadgets they use in the company, they scrap them and buy new ones instead of repairs. So I wrote a proposal to the technical director who actually assigned me to be part of that section to take care of the electronic equipment. But to my amazement, it was not appreciated that things should be repaired. I call it politics, bad politics. So this passion of making things work without spending much money has always been in me. So I taught myself that if I cannot actualize this vision of making things happen without really spending much in this place because of people that are there, that I have to do it my own way. So in the year 2001, I just woke up one morning, went to work, I feel dejected and not actually happy doing what I love doing. It goes beyond repairs of electronics. It goes to implementing what you have already. How can you improve it to make sure it works well? I went to my boss, my immediate boss, and said, I'm tired of working. I have to do my own runs. So when I got home, I thought about it and I told myself, okay, now I've taken this decision. There's no job, there's no backup. What do I do? I said, I have something in me I can use to make ends meet.
This is very interesting, and I know my listeners are probably wondering now.
Yeah.
From 2001, 2006,
Yeah.
What services or what were you doing? At what point did you realize that, oh, I am
To move up.
making money from this, or this is a full business I must, integrate and move on with?
Okay, yeah, in that 2001, I started with machine repairs. There's one of my friends who introduced me to plastic injection machinery. So I had a client there who moved his factory to another location. So I started there. It was the first point of call, so I had to learn the job. So from there, I started going to factories looking for, because one of the trainings I got was knowing how to read circuit diagrams, electrical circuit diagrams. So I made myself available to machine repairs, installations, and all that. So I was able to make little money out of it. At a point, it became obvious that there are so many requirements in this field. Apart from machine repairs, I went doing research on things I can combine to actually make things good. I went into security systems, camera installations, electrical designs. So many of them were coming up, and I saw that it's beyond it at a time. It will be beyond me to carry on. That I have to incorporate so that I'll get other people to join me. So by 2005, that's when I realized that I had to go higher. Because I saw a one-man business. I didn't go to school just to service people. I went to school because I want to be popular. I want to bring something that when people see it, they'll say, yeah, does this thing exist in Nigeria? That's actually has been my vision. So by that 2005, I had to take it up. I've not actually attended any program for business administration or anything as at then. So probably I would have maybe gone higher than that then. But then I had this notion that if I take the company up a bit, many services I'll be at the limelight and people will notice me. So that's why I went to.
So in 2006 you
officially
upgraded incorporated and upgraded the services you were offering.
Yes.
Okay, so from that point, did you have to engage any financial institution to get money to set up or to buy equipment or anything?
No, I've had stories of people getting loan or getting facilities, and naturally I got scared from the stories I heard. But at that point, I know that I always believe in getting something out of me to make money. So the little services I was rendering, I was saving. I was actually accumulating some amount, not really much. But as at that time, the kind of equipment that I needed, I was able to afford. I know the kind of services I rendered too are services that you have clients to make payments, upfront payments before the actual service. And the upfront payment, most of the time, you take 60-70% upfront. And from the calculation, you discover that amount will be able to push the job or push the project forward. And at the end, the balance you get, you have it as savings. So over a period of time, I was able to accumulate some amount to pay for equipment that I use. And with time, I discovered that my bank, I talked to them about future loan in case I have bigger projects to handle, and they have it at the back of their mind that I will need facility. But I never went there to collect it because I saw there's no need at that point.
Okay.
Because I've seen people who actually collect funds from bank and misuse it. So it's not as if it won't be useful, but at the same time, I'm so sensitive to the fact that if I need funds for anything, it has to be worthwhile.
Okay, so as at the time that you talked about earlier on off the radio waves, you talked about a capacity building program. Yes. And how that itself changed the way you did your business. Can you tell us, share that experience with us?
Yeah, I'll be fast on this because of time. Between that 2006 and 2011, the business dragged because they were full of ups and downs. I was just doing the business the way we do business in Nigeria. Not until December 2011 when I was told about the program, a capacity building program, and I enrolled, and fortunately I was selected among the 50 people in EDC. That was when I realized that I was not running the business the way I was supposed to run it. I got to know about delegation. I got to know about record keeping. I got to know about making operations faster, time management, and all that. And immediately I started implementing. The first lecture we had was record keeping and tax. I started implementing them immediately. We got to delegation. I had to start delegating my staff to do most of the things I do, which has always been a scare. I know within that 4-month period, in fact we got what we were supposed to get about for 5 years within 4 months. I immediately started implementing them, and there's a remarkable improvement. I can say it's a testimony because the turnover I had in 2011, when I compare it to when I just checked my turnover for 2012, it was about 500% increase.
Wow, 500%
500% increase. This was as a result of the fact that I now got conscious of the fact that I'm running a business. A business is a body. I'm a body. Before, I used to run the business as me. So I got separated from that, and it was actually remarkable.
Yeah. Jeffrey, you've shared a lot of good things with us, but we know that like every other business in our environment, you've had some challenges. Can you share with us one of the major challenges you've had and the things you learned from that challenge?
Yeah, there are so many of them, but you see, when a challenge comes up, it's actually an opportunity for you to move higher, because the way you tackle that challenge is dependent on what your vision is. One of the challenges I face is actually my service to customers. There are some places you have competition, gaining entry, and there are areas or there are some situations where you want to compromise by being corrupt the way they are. But the way I took it is that if I pay 10 naira to get a job, the worth of that job is less 10 naira from the amount I'm getting. So what I did was to know how to improve my brand so that my brand will market the job, not the money marketing the job. So one of the things I take particular attention to is details. I build panels, electrical panels for companies. So what I do, I segment the job. I delegate my men to do the skeletal, to do the main infrastructure. But when it comes to finishing, arranging of cables, labeling of cables, finishing of the panel work, I come in to do it with them. So that when the panel finishes, people will say, is this panel from Nigeria? And that's what I do. In one of the jobs I did with one of my major clients, I told them, don't give me money, just give me the job, because it took me over 3 years before I get entry. So the guy said, okay, let me try you. He gave me one of the panels. One of the panels was built overseas. So he gave me a replica of that. I said, go and produce it. The panel that is supposed to take 2 weeks, I took 4 days. I told my men we have to do this in 24 hours every day. So when the panel came out within that 24 hours, every one of us was happy. So I told one of my men to go and deliver it. When they saw the panel, they were asking the question, I thought it's only one panel we imported. Who brought this one? You know. So the guy told them it's from Jeffcom. We actually put our tag and it was applauded. We were very happy about it, and up to today, I met 5 contractors in that company. As I speak today, I'm the only person building panel for them, because over the years they discovered there's a difference. And you see, my entry is not about the money I paid, but about the quality of the job I delivered. And this is because of the trainings I got and the
yes. So you've learned that you needed to distinguish yourself in order for you to stand out from the crowd.
Yes.
Okay, in conclusion, what message would you be sending out to people that are not very happy with their job and are thinking of disengaging and going into their own business?
Okay, now the message I will give is, one, if you are disenchanted in your job, what's your vision in life? Because the vision matters. If working for people you can actualize your vision, then what is the focus in that working for people? Is it to make the vision of the company grow, or is it for you to earn big money? If it's for you to earn big money, then you have to pull out to earn your own big money yourself. Now, earning the big money yourself, you have to drop the issue of the money and create your own vision. Because with vision comes the money later. That's how I started. When I was disenchanted in my organization, it's not about the payment. Then I was paid 12,000 naira, you know. If you're not happy working and you want to set up, you have to look at what people need, because it's what people need that actually make you get what you want. You understand?
Yeah.
So that's actually basically.
All right. Thank you very much. Listeners, we've been listening to Jeffery Echiemunor. He's the CEO of Jeffcom Integrated Systems Limited, and he has been sharing his experience of how he started his business and how he's been able to increase his profits by 500%.
Thank you very much for being on Enterprise Stories. We'll be right back after this short message.
When you are successful in your small business, as I am, people will always come to you. They want to know what you're doing differently, who your bankers are, and what kind of deals you are getting from them. Well, I'm happy to enjoy all the benefits of the SME Zero COT account from Stanbic IBTC Bank. My profit is up. But why? Because I get zero COT, unlimited turnover, no limit on check lodgement or withdrawals, free internet and telephone banking, as well as discount on training courses for small business owners. With special benefits like that on the SME Zero COT account from Stanbic IBTC Bank. Now, there is no reason why your business won't boom just like mine.
Stanbic IBTC Bank, moving forward.
Dr. Joe, you've heard the story of the day. What's your take?
We all listened to Jeffcom Integrated Systems Limited, and we all saw how it started. Jeff had an idea which the company and the immediate bosses he had did not have. He now put to look, can we try to convert our high-cost equipment to a low-cost equipment by repairing more of the time rather than replacing. There are two different issues when you talk about engineering operations. Repairing will require that the existing equipment is modified and maintained so that you can have better services or same services from the one that you are replacing. Now here, the capacity to see what Jeff was seeing was not there. They didn't have the knowledge capacity to see beyond the replacement and procurement of existing ones as Jeff saw it. Now Jeff got challenged and said, listen, I'm being limited here. And if I must actualize my high capacity growth and career development, I must pull out. And then he did. And so when he pulled out, then again he was challenged by capacity after 4 years, because he realized that he could not go all of it alone. So he needed to bring in some experts. They may be, in terms of knowledge and skill, they may be junior to him in terms of engineering, but then he had to bring them in. And he has grown to a point where beyond what he did, I listened to him when he was talking about 500% growth in turnover. That is because of the capacity of knowledge and skill that he has allowed to grow over time. Now, Jeff read engineering, but at the time he graduated, and I still believe now, the curriculum for engineering programs in our environment does not include adequate management learning, which is a major flaw. And he said, all these 2001 to 2006, he was purely operating technical and lacked the ability to manage. But his 4 months program in Enterprise Development Center of Pan African University, where he had to go through operations management, he has to go through ethics, he has to go through delegation, he has to go through record management, he realized that within 4 months, what he lacked in 5 years, he obtained. Why did this training become important? He needed management capacity to cope with the opportunities that are opening up in his business. And so the capacity here again comes into play. And you must also be humble enough to know that the capacity in certain areas you don't have and others have it. It might be junior staff. It might be somebody outside your business. It might be a service supplier from another company. At every point in time, the capacities are varied. And then, for instance, you heard when he said, when they asked him, how did you get resources, financial resources to run your business? And he realized the capacity to push his business is not in funding alone. It is in the intellectual and skill right from the personnel, some of which he has. And now he said, when I approach my client, it is a payoff result-based funding. That is, my client pays me 80% and that runs up the businesses. If you are not careful, if you don't have the capacity to know the requirement of a business, the tendency is to go to financial institutions, pick up loans, and then you collapse on that ability to manage the loan. And then here again comes capacity to manage. So Jeffrey, just for me, so long as he keeps changing his capacity size, capacity ability, he will continue to grow. But the moment he stops, then the business will go down. And let me put this as a caveat to all entrepreneurs. The level of growth of any business, the level of development of any business is limited to the level of top management. It cannot grow beyond the capacity of the top management of any organization. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Joe, for your analysis today. Listeners, you've heard it. The level of growth of any business is dependent on the capacity of the top management. You have to continuously grow your capacity in order for you to continuously reinvent the way you run the business so that the business can grow and be sustainable. On this note, we've come to the end of Enterprise Story this week. Until next week, stay blessed. Join the Enterprise Development Center of the Pan African University as we celebrate 10 years of supporting small and growing businesses in Nigeria. Log on to www.edc.edu.ng for more information. For questions and comments, please email edc@pau.edu.ng or log on to Enterprise Stories on nigeria.sme2k.org for useful resources and articles to help grow your business.